Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with a follow-up video to the video that I posted last week about fragrances that I'm interested in, or kind of like an updated wish list. I also wanted to do a sister video of fragrances that I'm not at all interested in. Yeah, I did include some niche on this list just because there are not as many niche fragrances as there are like designer and popular fragrances that I'm not interested in. But there are definitely some, and there are some houses just in general, as far as niche goes, I'm just not interested in. And you'll see that I have a lot more like houses overall that I'm just not interested in. But anyways, let's just jump right in. I put most of like the newer fragrances, stuff that's kind of new to the market, first, and then things that have been released like this year, and then some like niche at the end. But anyways, I'm gonna jump right in. Okay. First and foremost, I am not interested in any Sol de Janeiro fragrances anymore at all. Do I like them? They're fine. Part of me wishes that they would have just stuck to the original fragrance because that's what they were known for. It was such a good fragrance. I do understand from a business point that you want to release things that, you know, new, fresh things that people are going to be interested in and want to buy. I'm just over it. I'm over Sol de Janeiro. I feel like a lot of the fragrances, after I smelled the purple one, that's the one that really did me in. That purple one, and I can't even remember what number it was, but that's another thing. The fact that they don't have names and they're all like numbers, like 69, 71, 72, like and it could just be me because I'm not a numbers girl. I don't like numbers. I don't want to remember numbers. I don't want to have to associate a fragrance with a number. So that kind of turns me off. But really, that purple fragrance was so bad for me. It did it in for me. And they just released a new one. It's like in a plum colored bottle, and I immediately got on and looked at the notes, and I was like, what a snooze fest. I'm just over it. So anything Sol de Janeiro is just a no for me. I saw that Ulta like released Squishmallow fragrances. That's cute, I guess, if you have a kid that's super into Squishmallows. Charlotte really likes Squishmallows, but I don't think she would want a Squishmallow perfume. So I don't know. I don't even see like, and maybe I'm completely wrong. You guys let me know if you think that like your child would want a Squishmallow perfume. I just don't know like why you would release an entire line of Squishmallow perfumes, because I just can't imagine that any adults would want to wear a Squishmallow perfume. So yeah, I'm just not interested in those at all. I should have preface this video by saying, if you're a person that does not like negative videos, you don't like to hear negative things, you don't like to hear negative opinions, you don't want to hear anything negative about a perfume ever, this is not the video for you. You should probably click off now, because I don't want to get hateful comments because somebody gets offended that I'm not interested in their favorite perfume, because it's not personal. This is just my opinion. This is just what I'm interested in and what I'm not interested in, and it's not any deeper than that. So I should have started the video by saying that. But anyways, moving right along. Tiffany perfumes. I have just never ever really been interested in Tiffany perfumes. You guys can see I've never really I don't think I've ever talked about a Tiffany perfume on this channel, maybe ever. I do know that somebody sent me, I think Sweet Velvet sent me a sample of a Middle Eastern dupe of a Tiffany fragrance, and it was fine. It was nice. It wasn't anything that I would want a full bottle of, but they keep releasing like flankers of the original like Tiffany perfume. I think the most recent one I saw was like a rose gold one or something. I'm just not interested. I don't know what it is. They just don't speak to me. Oh my gosh, the Wicked perfumes. I've been getting ads on my TikTok feed for weeks now about these Wicked perfumes, and I could not be less interested in perfumes than I am the Wicked perfume. I'm like ready for the entire Wicked situation to just be gone. I'm sick of seeing Wicked cereals and Wicked cupcake mixes and Wicked wet brushes and Wicked makeup, and literally Wicked has been in our faces for like the last 2 years straight, and I'm so over it and so ready for it to just run its course. And now Wicked Perfumes, like, absolutely not. I'm not at all interested in even getting my nose on those. Any more Valentino Donna Born in Roma perfumes. I don't like the pillar fragrance. When I smelled it, like, years back, it had that weird metallic musk in the base that you smell in a lot of, like, niche perfumes. So I have never really been interested in any of the flankers, just because I don't like the scent profile, and they just keep pumping them out. Oh my gosh, there are so many flankers of that perfume now, and I am just not interested, not even a little bit, in smelling any of them. Khloe Kardashian has come out with new perfumes. I think I saw 2 different ones, and again, just not interested. The bottles look like really juvenile. I don't know. There's nothing appealing about those perfumes to me at all. And I can just tell by looking at the bottles that they're going to be super generic and just not anything that I am interested in at all. Lancome Idole Flankers. That's another fragrance that I bought a bottle of the pillar fragrance thinking I was going to love it. I think I had a sample of it and I liked it. And so I bought a full bottle of it because it was on super sale at Ulta, and I pretty much immediately decluttered it because it ended up just smelling weird on me. And that's another fragrance that they just keep pumping out flanker after flanker after flanker. And I don't want to say like I'm not at all interested in smelling them. They're just not fragrances that I'm pursuing at all. If one like came into my life and I smelled it, or if somebody recommended one of them and said, hey, this flanker is like really, really nice and it doesn't smell like the original, then I would probably like maybe order a sample or something. But just in general, I didn't like the original pillar fragrance. And so I just have not really been interested in any of the flankers that have come out. Any of the Versace Dylan perfumes, I do not like the original one. That, if I remember correctly, it's got like a weird pear note in it. Pear can sometimes be really not good on me, and that fragrance was really not good on me. I feel like I smelled, and then I smelled the one in the light blue bottle. It was so boring, like not anything that I was interested in at all. And so I think they came out with a purple one, and there might even be a 4th one now. I'm not sure, but I'm just not interested in any of the Versace Dylan fragrances. I don't know. There's nothing interesting about them. They smell generic to me, and I don't like them. I know that some people really like them because they're easy reach fragrances, which I totally understand. I could see if it works really good on your skin, or if they work really well on your skin and they're just easy reach fragrances for you. I can 100% understand that. They're just not for me. Oh my gosh, Kylie perfumes. Like, I felt like it was going to be over with the original Cosmic perfume that came out, which I smelled that one in Ulta, and again, it is just so boring and generic smelling and just not even worth the time at all, in my opinion. But no, another one came out. There might even be 2 more now. I just know I saw another one that's like in a silvery bottle, and I was like, oh my gosh, how many terrible generic celebrity perfumes do we have to have on the market? I just don't understand. At least some of the celebrity perfumes, like the newer celebrity perfumes that have come out, are like interesting. The Billie Eilish fragrances, they're not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate them for what they are. And I feel like as far as celebrity fragrances go, they're at least interesting and, decent quality. These Kylie perfumes, though, are terrible. They smell like body spray in a bottle, and I cannot get on board with them. The Rare Beauty perfume, again, same situation as with like the Kylie perfumes. I have not smelled it. I have no desire to smell it. I've heard that it's a dupe of maybe Burberry Goddess. I can't remember, or I think I saw that. I think I looked it up on Fragrantica, and it's a dupe of, I want to say, Burberry Goddess. So then I was really, really turned off of it, because I can't stand it when a celebrity just rips off another really popular fragrance, because people are going to buy it just because a celebrity came out with it. So if you've just ripped off another fragrance, like, come on. It's one thing to rip off an older fragrance because at least it's not like in the forefront of people's minds. But Burberry Goddess isn't even that old. So if she ripped off Burberry Goddess, like, that's just super lame. And you know, I cannot stand a cash grab. Any of the Glossier U fragrances. Glossier U is fine. I think it smells fine. I think it's super boring. It's another one of those fragrances that I think people like it because it's like a clean girl fragrance. It's supposedly a clean brand. I felt like it was a super boring, super bad performing fragrance. So I am not at all interested in any of the flankers. I just have no desire to even get my nose on them. Unfortunately, Skylar Perfumes, I saw that they came out with a fragrance called like Double Dates or something. It's like a date perfume. Normally I would be like, yes, I want to get my nose on that. I'm going to buy a travel spray of it. Like, I need that. Skylar Perfumes are some of the worst performing perfumes I have literally ever tried in my entire life, and I will never purchase another one again because they perform terribly on me. Again, it's supposedly like a clean brand, so I understand if they perform badly because, you know, they're not using like toxic ingredients or they're not using long-lasting fragrance oils. They're using more naturals. I get it, but I'm not going to spend the money on a fragrance that I'm going to be able to smell for 15 minutes. So that house is just a performance issue for me. And as much as some of the fragrances that they're releasing look amazing to me, like, I'm just not going to do it. Fleur Cherry Stem. The last Fleur fragrance that I saw that I really want to get my nose on, there's two. Vanilla Skin, I still haven't smelled, but I haven't heard I haven't heard amazing things about it. And then Strawberry Letter. I really want to get my nose on those two fragrances, but Cherry Stem, no. We're like hopefully at the tail end of like the cherry craze in perfume. I'm really hoping we are. But that one is just no. I'm hoping that they didn't just do Tom Ford Lost Cherry over again. I have a feeling that it smells like Lost Cherry. Even if it doesn't, like, cherry as a note in perfumery just really doesn't last that long on me. So even if it is a cherry perfume that doesn't smell like Lost Cherry, and Lost Cherry is the only scent profile with cherry in it, besides like Blood Cherry Cordial and some of my and the cherry perfumes that I've got from Dream House. Those perform amazingly well on me. But most other cherry fragrances just do not. So I'm just like, I don't know. I think it's because I'm just over the hype of cherry in perfume, just like I'm over pistachio in perfume. It's like these companies just take it too far to the point where I'm going to do a 180 and just completely like cut off an entire note because I'm so over it. Dead Cool Perfumes. I included them because I've been seeing Dead Cool get a ton of hype on TikTok recently. I think they just came out with some new like gourmand leaning perfume. I can't even remember what it is, but somebody sent me a discovery kit of Dead Cool perfumes, and I was not impressed by literally anything in there. I think they're fine. I think they're nice. They, again, terrible performing fragrances, way too expensive for what you're getting. Like, you can get way less expensive perfumes that perform way, way better and are just as nice. I just don't see anything special about Dead Cool. And because there's nothing special about them, they can't perform terribly too. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, you either have to be generic but perform amazingly well, or you have to not perform amazingly well but be super, super like unique. You need to offer something that isn't on the market, if that makes sense. Ellis Brooklyn perfumes, for the most part. There are a couple that I like. I like a couple from the original lineup that they released, like right after the house released. Some of those original perfumes, I think Myth and Raven were my favorite. Anything that they've released since, to me, they just have a very strange undertone, and they all have it. I bought Honey my friend Christine sent me, I think it was called Sunkissed, if I remember correctly. And they all have this really, really weird undertone. And so I just don't like them. Plus, they don't perform well on me. So I've heard that vanilla one that they came out with one called maybe Vanilla Milk or something. I read reviews where people said it literally smelled like spoiled milk on their skin. So, yeah, I just steer very far clear of Ellis Brooklyn fragrances. Any Prada Paradox fragrance, like any Paradox flanker. Prada Paradox is, besides that Calvin Klein Eternity Flame fragrance that I literally said was such a scrubber, it made me ill all day long, literally made me sick. Prada Paradox is the last fragrance before that one that I can remember doing the same thing to me. It's funny because people get super touchy about Prada Paradox. Like, some people really love it, and I love that for you. If you love it and it smells good on you, I am so happy for you. It smelled terrible on me. I hated it. I hated it so much, and because of that, I will never ever even put my nose on a flanker of that fragrance. Like, I just can't do it. Jessica Simpson came out with a new fragrance called Mystic Canyon. I think it's brand new. I'm pretty sure it's like a brand new fragrance. I am just not interested. At this point, I'm not interested in any Jessica Simpson fragrance. The last couple that she released before they didn't release fragrances for a while were not good. So I think the last one I remember was called 10. It just not good. And I just have a feeling this Mystic Canyon, I could be completely wrong. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, I will definitely, own up to that. But I just have a feeling that it's not going to be good. The notes in it didn't even look very good. It just, again, it kind of looks like a cash grab. Middle Eastern fragrances in general, I am just over them. At this point, I see a Middle Eastern fragrance and immediately I'm like, what is that a dupe for? Because they're all just clones at this point of already existing fragrances. So anytime I see one, or anytime I see one get hyped up, a lot of them have a weird undertone to them. A lot of them, they smell like whatever they're supposed to be duping, but with some kind of weird, gasoline undertone. They're just weird. So unless something really changes, I am pretty much just kind of over the Middle Eastern clone fragrance market. This one's gonna hurt, and I know this is gonna hurt some people's feelings because I know that there are some real fans of this house out there, but I just cannot get myself interested in the Henry Rose fragrance line. Again, I know that they're not marketed heavily as like a celebrity fragrance line, but I'm pretty sure that Michelle Pfeiffer is the person who started Henry Rose. And because I know that it's connected to a celebrity, I'm immediately turned off. Even though I don't super dislike Michelle Pfeiffer, she reminds me of my childhood, but I just can't do it. I don't know. They look super boring to me. I'm sure some of them are perfectly beautiful and lovely. Again, it's a clean fragrance brand. I've heard really good things about how they perform for being a clean fragrance brand. So it's not that I'm completely opposed to getting my nose on them. They're just not fragrances that I'm super interested in, that I'm dying to test, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's man, I could just kind of take them or leave them. Burberry Goddess Intense. I'm so sad about that one because when I heard that it had come out, I was super excited. I thought, oh my gosh, if it's an intense version of Burberry Goddess, I'm gonna love it so much. But then I started reading reviews, and I think I had a couple people comment on a video that I had mentioned it in, saying it smells just like YSL Libre. Or Libra, however you say that. I've got 5 full bottles of Libra in my collection. I do not need another fragrance that smells like Libra, so I'm not even, I'll probably smell it. If I go to Ulta and smell perfumes, I'll smell it, but it's not anything that I would ever purchase, I don't think. Okay, now let's get into some of the niche fragrances. I think I'm just kind of over Amouage as a house. They're usually like a miss for me most of the time. I do have this bottle here, Journey, that my friend Christine sent me. I love that fragrance. I think it is stunning. I've got a dupe of Amouage Sunshine that I think is really beautiful, but most of the other fragrances that I've tested or smelled, I just don't love them. I don't know. I used to be super into them, and like I used to want to get my nose on every new fragrance they released, and like, I don't know. I'm just kind of over Amouage as a house. Yeah, they're just, I don't know. Most of the time they're misses and not hits. Josie Maran, I saw that they're coming out with a new Josie Maran. It looks like it's another like vanilla fragrance. Again, Josie Maran is supposed to be like a clean brand. I bought a Josie Maran water-based fragrance and it was terrible. It smelled so bad. It was called Vanilla Wafers, I think, and it was so bad I threw it away. I didn't even want to like resell it or even give it away to anybody because it just was terrible. So that has turned me off from Josie Maran fragrances, and I don't think I'll ever revisit that again. Maison Francis Kurkdjian, I just think that they're super boring fragrances. Again, when I was first really starting to get into niche fragrances, I thought, oh, they're beautiful, they're easy fragrances, especially in the niche community. And I'm talking like, this is years and years and years ago. And the more time went on and the more that I got my nose on, the more I just find they're super boring. I enjoy the fragrances that he makes for like designer houses, like the fragrances he's done for, well, just he's prolific. He's made some of the most beautiful fragrances. Like the original Elizabeth Arden Green Tea is a Francis Kurkdjian fragrance. So there are some fragrances that he's done that I just think are so stunning. But when it comes to the Maison Francis Kurkdjian line, I just think they're snooze fests. They're boring. Some of them have weird undertones to them and just don't smell good on skin. I don't know. That line, I'm really just kind of over, and I'm not even interested really in smelling them anymore. Christian Louboutin fragrances, I was just really never interested in them. There were a couple that I was kind of interested in because people were talking about how amazing they were. But I feel the same way about the Christian Louboutin fragrances as I do like the Louis Vuitton fragrances. I was never interested in the Louis Vuitton fragrances. I just think that they're so overpriced for what they are. I'm sure that they're beautiful. I'm sure that they're perfectly fine, but I don't think that I just think that they're probably super overpriced for what they are. So yeah, I'm just not interested in Louboutin or Louis Vuitton fragrances at all. Atelier d'Or, this one broke my heart because I was so excited when I saw that they came out with another vanilla fragrance, and it's kind of supposed to be like a sister fragrance to Lune Feline. I think it's called Nove Vanilla or Nove Vanille. And it's supposed to be like a light version, or like a light vanilla in contrast to the dark Lune Feline. Apparently, and I've read a bunch of reviews on it. I have not smelled it, but I read a bunch of reviews on it, and it's mostly getting negative reviews because people say that the ambroxan in it is just too much. I don't like ambroxan in fragrance, so I think it's going to be an immediate hard pass for me because I really do not like ambroxan, especially if it's like overused. And most people say that fragrance is like an ambroxan bomb, and it's just not very good. So I was so excited to see that they came out with another vanilla fragrance, but then super sad when I read all the reviews of people saying that it's just not good. So yeah, that one is like, I'm not even interested in putting my nose on it really at this point. Rabanne Perfumes. Rabanne Perfumes in general, I don't know what it is about that house. I don't know if it's because they came out with 1,000,001 flankers of the like Lady Million fragrance and the 1,000,000 fragrance that they had for men. And to me, that bottle is just so bad, like so bad. But it has kind of turned me off the entire house. I'm just not at all interested in Rabanne fragrances at all anymore. And I hate that because I think that they probably have some really nice perfumes, but yeah, I can't ever bring myself to like even want to smell any of them. A niche house that I've never really been interested in. I remember when they kind of hit the market and how hyped up they were getting, like so hyped up. Byron Perfumes. I'm just not, I don't know. It's just a niche house that has never interested me. I never really liked the names of them. Like the Chronic and I don't know. I think that it's just, I don't know why I'm not interested. I don't know. It's just a house that I'm just not at all drawn to. And I have smelled a couple, I feel like I've smelled a couple like dupe fragrances for Byron Perfumes. And I don't know. I just don't think that they're anything special, especially in the niche market. I don't know. I'm not interested. Xerjoff perfumes. There are a couple of Xerjoff perfumes that I like. Lyra is really beautiful. Dama Bianca is really beautiful. But other than those ones, I have just never found another Xerjoff perfume that I have ever really enjoyed that much. I thought I was going to love Italica. That one had that super weird metallic musk in the base, which I find a lot of the Xerjoff and Suspiro perfumes have in the base. They have that weird metallic musk that I cannot stand. So I've just kind of been put off of Xerjoff and Suspiro perfumes for, is that the name of the sister house? Suspiro, right? I think so. I've just been not interested in anything from either of those houses because of that weird metallic musk that a lot of them have in the base. I saw that Tom Ford is coming out with a new Tom Ford, or maybe has already released the new Tom Ford Black Orchid Reserve perfume. I am one of the weird people that I can't stand Black Orchid. That's one of those perfumes that literally makes me like want to vomit. I don't know what it is. I can appreciate it. I can smell it and I can appreciate it and think, ooh, if this spoke to me and it smelled good on me, I could definitely see this being like such a special perfume. And I can see why it's really special for other people and I can see why other people love it. But for me, it's one of those perfumes that's just like, ooh, no, this makes me nauseous. It's like too much of everything. It's too sweet. It's too floral. It's too syrupy, too perfumey, too strong. It's like too much of everything for me. So I love that Tilda Swinton is the like face of that perfume. It makes me want to like love it somehow, but I just know I won't. So I don't even really want to get my nose on it. Somebody asked me recently if I had seen that Vivienne Westwood was re-releasing the Boudoir fragrance. I did see that. I immediately got on and read some reviews, and most people agree, not most, all people that have smelled it agree that it is not the same as the original. So because of that, I'm not at all interested in it. I was pretty sure that it was not going to smell like the original Boudoir, which makes me sad, but I didn't get my hopes up about it. So I'm not like super sad, but yeah, I'm not even interested in smelling it at all. Most people say that they re-released it and made it a more wearable fragrance than the original Boudoir was. Which I get. They want it to be more mass appealing. Obviously, they want more people to buy it. So I get it, but I don't know. I'm just not interested. That's when my mind could definitely be changed though. Like if one of you end up picking it up or if one of you have gotten your nose on it and you think it's worth smelling, I would definitely be like be open to getting like a sample or a decant of it, but I'm not super hopeful with that one. And then last but not least, we talked about cherry perfumes. I'm over pistachio perfumes. The only perfume that I am interested in smelling that has pistachio note in it is Mugler Angel Stellar, only because I've heard that is an amazing fragrance, and most angel flankers I really like, so I think I'm going to end up liking that one. But I don't want to smell pistachio again for probably 5 years. Pistachio is done. It's over. Like it has been so overdone that I'm sick about it, that pistachio just got so crazy. I remember like years and years ago loving when a fragrance had pistachio in it, but they were so few and far between. Like it was really hard to find an actual pistachio fragrance. But then pistachio just like exploded, and now pistachio is like the Baccarat Rouge 540 scent profile to me. I just don't want to smell pistachio anymore. Now, I don't mind if pistachio is like a note that, you know, is contributing to a fragrance, but I don't want to smell another like pistachio based fragrance for a good long while. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to end it there because I'm sure that this video is going to piss people off. I'm sure regardless of giving a disclaimer, I'm going to get some hate comments, but I do hope for those of you that don't get your feelings hurt easily, I do hope that you will enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.